and gentlemen, and welcome to the University of South Alabama for today's introductory press conference for our new head football coach. We're grateful you've taken the time to join us for an exciting day in the history of Jaguar athletics. My name is Tyler Roper, and it will be my privilege to conduct today's proceedings. I'll go ahead and lay out our order of events and then get out of the way so our important speakers can talk to us today. First, Director of Athletics, Dr. Joel Erdman, will take the podium to introduce University President Joe Bonner. After President Bonner's remarks, Dr. Erdman will share some thoughts with us and then introduce us to our new head coach. Coach Applewhite will then come to the podium and make some comments, and once he is finished, we'll open it up to a question and answer period from members of the media. We have members of the media seated here in the front and in the back, so we have a roaming microphone that will run back and forth to you. If you have a question, please just raise your hand and we'll get that to you. Before you ask your question, please state your name and media affiliation. We're going to reserve this question and answer period specifically for Coach Applewhite today, and then at the conclusion of that time, we will make Dr. Erdman and Coach Applewhite available for about 20 to 30 minutes for one-on-one interviews with members of the media. We just ask that you keep that time brief. Obviously, there are a lot of people that want to say hi to Coach and all our other VIPs here today. Without any further ado, please join me in welcoming to the podium Dr. Joel Erdman.
What a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky, nice and brisk, a new beginning, a great path forward. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Today is an important day. It's an exciting day. It's a historical day. The Director of Athletics at the University of South Alabama reports to the President of the University of South Alabama. Anyone that has had a boss understands the importance of a boss. And most importantly, in my opinion, the leadership qualities, the intangibles, the clear expectations, and the incredible, legitimate, and deep support that comes from a boss. I cannot be any more fortunate, and the University of South Alabama cannot be any more fortunate that we have President Joe Bonner. So please welcome him to the podium.
Well, Dr. Erdman, thank you very much for bringing all these people together. I just told Coach Applewhite there are a lot more people here for this announcement than when we announced the president of the University of South Alabama. So there were no TV cameras, and so, but that just goes to show how important today is. And I think this room will join me in agreeing that we have the nation's finest athletic director and leadership team in the country, in Dr. Joel Erdman. Not that you need an example of that, but if you did, today's press conference is that example. That so many people are here to get to meet and to welcome a friend who is going to do an amazing job as our new head football coach. But it starts with that person at the top. And in Joel Erdman, we have a man of integrity, a man of character, and a man of extreme loyalty to this university. And we saw that, the search committee did, throughout this brief but very thorough process. So I want to start off by saying how appropriate it is that we celebrate this news today with a great win. Coach, last night was amazing. Go Jags! It is always fun to beat your in-state rival, and it's going to be a good omen for a lot of other games that we'll be playing in all the other sports the rest of the season, including football for sure. So if there were just one special moment about last night's win, it wouldn't just be the win. We had a beautiful ceremony welcoming 30 citizens from 20 countries. That was a neat opportunity for us to do. But I know that those of you like me who saw Coach Applewhite go out into center court and talk from his heart about why he wanted to be our next head coach. And what growing up along, as he likes to say, the I-10 corridor, growing up in Baton Rouge, but growing up here, a son of the South, who grew up along the Gulf Coast, who knows how important winning football is and who's been a winner his whole life, who's played at the highest levels for worked with or played at two of the most winning programs in the history of college football, studied under two of the best coaches in Mack Brown and in Nick Saban, and now has had the privilege of working for the last 3 years under Coach Womack. And we want to thank Kane for all that he did in laying the foundation and in giving us this opportunity to celebrate this great new day today. But today is about turning the page to the next chapter. And in Major Applewhite, we have a man who loves his family, and we want to recognize Julie and Lila and Nash. I gave Nash one of our Southpaw Mardi Gras buttons last night, and he's wearing it on his lapel. So what a beautiful family to be a part, to be the leadership of the Jaguar football program. So on behalf of our Board of Trustees, our amazing faculty and staff, our almost 100,000 alumni, our 14,000 plus students, and the Jaguar Nation from coast to coast and all around the globe, thank you, Dr. Erdman, for letting me say to our new coach and to his family, we are so proud and honored to have you leading this effort, and we can't wait to see what this next chapter is going to be that you're going to help write. God bless you, and go Jags!
I'll get it. That's my wife. Is that my wife? Tina. Monday night about 10:30, we began looking for a new head football coach. Tuesday, there was some weather that closed campus until about 11 o'clock. And that honestly was a little bit of good fortune, because a group of people were somewhat alone on this campus and undistracted to start to bear down and focus on what we knew needed to be a brisk but a objective and clean and purposeful task of selecting our next leader. Over the next 36 hours, I won't say everybody that was involved in that process, but you can believe me, it takes more people than you probably think, from different areas, not only in the Department of Athletics, but in areas across campus, business-related people, contract-related people, legal-related people, who were willing to, after hours, go above and beyond to get to a finish line as quickly as we could. Now, there was a sense of urgency. Welcome to college athletics in 2024, and welcome to mid-January, and you're looking for a head football coach. However, we needed to exhale, we needed to eliminate the noise, pause, think, be critical, evaluate with your mind and not your heart, and really dig deep that we're not just in this for the next week. We're not going to make a decision that's going to be in it for the 2024 season. We are in it for 25, 26, 27, and beyond. So don't be rash. Don't be illogical. Slow down, but move. The people involved in that process, thank you from the bottom of my heart personally, and also thank you on behalf of the university. So thank you. Major Applewhite obviously was a target, and I would be lying if when Major was hired 3 years ago as our offensive coordinator that did not enter my mind or anybody else's mind. However, I want to be very clear about something. Major Applewhite is not our head football coach because he was here. Major Applewhite is not our head football coach because he had an office up the hill for 3 years. That contributed to it. That influenced it. However, Major Applewhite is our head coach because he is incredibly capable, from his experience, as President Bonner talked about, to his mentors, to his influences in his life, learning more about him through this process about who influenced you in your childhood, who influenced you from a family perspective, what were your value systems then, and how did that create your value systems now? Why do you want to coach? How do you coach? How do you communicate? And as we started to ask those questions and get those answers, what began as this might be a good thing, it became very, very clear and crystallized, this isn't a good thing, this is a damn great thing. So I could elaborate, as many of you know, but I need to step aside because you're not here to listen to me. All I can say is the most important thing ADs do is hire head coaches. And Tina, my dear wife, can attest, I didn't sleep Monday night, I didn't sleep Tuesday night, but I slept really good Wednesday night. And so with enthusiasm, please welcome your head football coach, Major Applewhite. Y'all want some more? You want to step out there? Y'all want to step on up? Come on. If you want. Thank you. Y'all good? We'll get more. We'll get more.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm truly humbled for this opportunity. My wife sent me a text the other day that said, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. And this is a beautiful opportunity. It's a true blessing for my family. I want to thank you, Dr. Urban, President Bonner, Dr. Kent, Jimmy Schumacher, Jim Yance, Daniel McCarthy, everybody that was in the room on Wednesday. It was a great opportunity to get to know people that you see from a distance over the course of 3 years. But it was a wonderful opportunity to get to explain your vision for the program. And it's been a journey, to get here. And it has taken 3 very special people in my life, my wife, Julie, my daughter, Lila, and my son, Nash. They are my heart. And I do what I do because I love my family. And I have been raised by phenomenal parents who have tracked their way from north of Atlanta in their late 70s to be here. And they've done it for 45 years. And I've got the best set of parents, and I'm fortunate to be able to take over a ball club that has a bunch of kids who has parents that are very similar. So I'm very, very honored for this opportunity. I want to thank the players. I want to thank the players for a couple of reasons. Number one, their performance on the field has gained us this success. Their dedication to our program has allowed opportunities for grown men and adults to move in the coaching profession, and I thank them for that. If they don't play the game the way they play it and they don't put out the results and produce the way they produced, we don't have the opportunities as coaches, and they deserve the credit. And I also want to thank them for staying together. It's not easy when you're 18 to 22 years old, and you're going through these changes, and there's a lot of people pulling on you. There's social media now. It's different than it was for us. It's different. And there's a lot of pressure on these young men, and there's a lot of opportunities. And I want to thank these guys for staying together and galvanizing as a team. And I learned from Coach Royal when I was at Texas. He said, when tough times comes, the wagons start to circle and the circle gets tighter. And you're going to find out who's really about you and who's really about your team. And we had some losses. Oklahoma, the circle got tight. We had players leave, and you figure it out. And I want to thank the players for pulling tighter, pulling tighter. And part of that with the players is the staff. The staff that is in that building right now is a little bit shorthanded, but it won't be for long. But they have done a tremendous job in the last few days and then obviously in the last 3 years. There's so many people to thank, so many individuals to thank. I just want to thank, Jaguar Nation, so to speak, for the dedication that you've had and the success that we've been able to have the last 3 years. And I am so excited. My face sometimes doesn't show it, but I am so excited about I've got a weird default. I've had to explain that to the quarterbacks, but it's in here. It's in here. And I'm a competitor, and I'm so excited to take this thing to the next level, introducing some new things in terms of just trying to get our community stronger. I told Coach Urban I love the hashtag Our City. I want to put it into action. I see the results that happen on this field, and I just want to make this our city's team. Our city's team. I want to create an atmosphere here in this stadium that it's full, that people are here early, that they're loud, that they stay late. I want to see 50, 60 smokestacks coming up. I want to see the top of RVs. I want to create a situation where this stadium represents our entire city. Our entire city. And I want to bring every single community in this city to this stadium, north, south, east, west, central. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're across the bridge, I want everybody to be here on Saturday night. And I want this thing to be loud, and I want it to be rocking because these players are going to make it that way. I can promise you that. So honored for this opportunity. The vision for this program is to win championships. Let it not be mistaken. And the way we're going to do that is with great men, and great men that have the same morals and the same values and principles that we want day in and day out that align with our leadership. I've had an opportunity to be a head coach. I've had an opportunity to work at a lot of different universities. And players and coaches can win ball games. They can go out there and win ball games. They can accumulate talent and they can win ball games. But you will not win championships unless you have championship alignment from the top to the bottom. From your president to your athletic director, to your faculty and staff, to your support, your donors, your athletic director, your administration. That is truly, if you get on the inside of this job, that's truly what allows you to win championships. And I want to find coaches, players alike, that understand that leadership. And I want to find coaches that simply understand this. I was talking to my mentor last night, Mac Brown, as I pulled into the driveway, and he said, changing lives. And it can go, it can be blatant, it can be kind of blasé, but you're changing lives every single time you walk into that building. Every single time you walk next to a kid, it can be the thing that takes them this direction, or it could be the thing that takes them this direction. And we're going to have coaches and staffs that are positive, energetic, intense. I want intensity in our building and serious about our work each and every day. But we're going to have men that understand we're changing lives. We're changing lives each and every day in the classroom, off the field in the community, and obviously on the football field. This is just a wonderful opportunity. I could sit up here for hours and talk about how gracious I am. I truly am. I need to thank my parents, my father, Larry, my mother, Sandra. I'm not going to get emotional, but they mean so much to me and have been just such a... And they've taught me how to treat people. They've taught me how to treat players, and it has meant a lot to me, the dedication that they've given me over the course of my life. And then obviously having children of your own, you start to realize what it truly is to be a coach. You're hungry in your 20s, you're hungry in your 30s, but when your kids get older, you realize what you're dealing with, and you realize you're dealing with someone else's child. And I want to be that driving force, but also that nurturing that helps young men grow. And that's exactly what we're going to do as a program, and we're going to win championships. We're already getting to work and filling our staff. The kids are already hard at work. They're going to class. They're doing the right things, and we're going to put a premium on championship habits. It is not an accident when you win a championship. It's repeating habits over and over again. They're hard to create. They're tough to break, but that's our job as coaches, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to create championship habits in the classroom, in the community and obviously on the football field between the lines. So I am just thoroughly excited. There's a lot of work to do as soon as this thing ends, so that's kind of where my mind is going right now as this press conference lingers. But I'm so excited, and I want to create a vision for you as well. And I want you to think about turning right off of Old Shell or left off of Old Shell and seeing that same vision and playing for championships. And I'm grateful to be able to carry on what we've done the last 3 years. But I know I'm no different. I know I can speak for Kane in this because we've talked about it after the season. We want to go to the next level. We want to go to the next level, and we're not far off. We need to put our nose down to the grindstone and get to work and get the right people in here to fill the chairs that are empty. And we will get that done. And I'm so excited to get to work on it. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. If I didn't mention your name today, I apologize, but I feel it. I just feel the warmth and the commitment from the community. And there's so many people that helped and made phone calls in a short 24, 48-hour period on my behalf. And I know it's not solely on me. It's on the work of our staff and what our staff has done for 3 years. And they want that to continue. And it's not just about Major. It's about the success that we've had as a program. And I know I can say thank you on behalf of the other staff members as well. So I am honored to be your coach, and I will make you proud. Thank you. Good job.
All right, we'll now open it up for a question and answer period from members of our media. As a reminder, please raise your hand and we'll get this mic to you. State your name and affiliation. We'll start here with Craig Stevenson.
Hey, Craig Stevenson, AL.com. Major, this is your second head coaching job. What did you learn in that first job and the years since then that prepared you for this opportunity?
I think first off, just the natural maturation of a parent. You know, my daughter Lila getting older, my second child coming into the fray, you gain a different perspective. Yes, we want to win. Yes, we want to be the best on the field. Yes, we want to be physical. We want to dominate our opponent. We want to make them quit. All of those things as a coach, but how do you get there? A lot of patience. You know, a lot of patience. There's things that in my 2 years at the University of Alabama in an analyst role, watching Coach Saban, and he was different in 2007 than he was in 2019 when I got there. But the patience, the understanding of thinking, seeking counsel from other coaches. You wouldn't think that the greatest coach in college football history would seek counsel from others, but he does. And seeking counsel from others and being patient and slow to make decisions. Because those decisions have consequences, and that's what you do as a head coach is you make decisions. So you seek counsel, and you listen, and you trust, and you make great decisions, and that's the way you make great decisions. So I would say that's the overriding thing that I saw in the corner of that staff room. Was someone who was, you know, low ego, although we would think he would have a high ego, very low ego and willing to listen and create the best opportunity environment for his players to win championships.
Hi, Major. Arthur Mack with the Call News. This area is rich in high school football. It has a whole lot of talented athletes. Now, as far as recruiting, what is your game plan to attract those athletes as well as others from throughout the area?
Well, number one, we need to talk about us, you know, and that's always, you know, we talked a little bit about our recruiting model because we're going to be out on the road on Monday. But we talked about, let's talk about us, you know, when we're on the road. Let's talk about the things that we have because the things that we have are pretty darn good. And our stadium, our facilities, our university, our leadership, the opportunities that you have here on the Gulf Coast, you know, the opportunities to grow from a developmental standpoint. Once you get done with football, your plan A, as we like to call it. Plan B is being able to play football forever, but plan A is what you're going to do when that whistle blows for the last time. But the leadership, and the leadership is so important. And unless you're really in this thing and you've been a coach, you don't understand it because you have to have it. You know, the coach goes to the athletic director goes to the president, and then the decision is made. So that's the only thing that, I mean, there's a lot of things, but that's the big thing that attracted me to wanting to stay here and get this job. So you have great leadership, therefore you're going to have a great university. So parents are going to be excited about the quality education they're going to get. The opportunities in Mobile, the opportunities around the Gulf Coast for guys to grow and develop and then get into the job market. But specifically for a young man who's 17, 18 years old, the facilities. You have a brand new stadium, you have an indoor facility, we have our practice fields. When you really start looking at the nuts and bolts of what a kid's looking for, the proximity of where they live, the proximity of the study hall, their weights, their meal plan, it's a very, very compact situation for a young man who's going off on his own for the first time, and it's very friendly for an 18-year-old, and it's something that's very comforting to a mother or a father that their child is going to have a great opportunity to have success, because it's always nerve-wracking when you put your kid in the car with a bunch of stuff. And so there's all of those things, but then the people that work in those buildings. I've been at universities where you have 15 academic advisors. I would like to put those 15 against the 2 or 3 that we have, that work directly with football. It's not about your numbers. It's not about your bricks and mortar. It's about the people that are inside of them. And we've got great people. We're going to continue to bring in great people. And that's really going to be our selling point. The people that we have here, whether it be in the tower of the president, or whether it be the people in the training room, whether it be our recruiting staff, our strength staff, the people that we have and what your child is going to enter into and what he's going to look like when he comes out.
Randy Kennedy, Sports Talk 99.5. You've got a long history as an offensive coach and a play caller. Can you just talk about your role now that you're the head coach here? Are you going to do that on game day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to have input on all 3 phases of the game. Offensively is going to be where I would have more input. I think it's very important you just don't impose yourself on things. I worked with Tom Herman at the University of Houston. I called plays for him. He was obviously he'd gone from winning a national championship, being Alabama and Oregon, and then the next year he's not calling plays. So that didn't make much sense in a lot of people's minds. But at the same time, you have other things that you're doing as a head coach. The trust level that I have with Robbie Zell is extremely high. Will I have suggestions and things like that? Of course, you should as a head coach. But as a head coach, you need to understand when it's not your time to impose yourself on the game. But I have all the confidence in the world in our offensive staff. I think we've gotten stronger as an offensive staff. I'm very excited about what we're going to do on offense. We're going to light that thing up. And I just cannot wait to get to the X's and O's and the ball part of it. I do enjoy this to some extent, but I'll just be honest. I really love that stuff out there.
Coach, good morning. Corey LeBounty with WNSP 105.5. Wanted to talk to you about the advantages of already being here, knowing the personnel, knowing the president, the athletic director, the players that are currently on your roster. Talk to us about that and the advantages moving forward, bringing in others that already are related to the kids that are going to be on your roster.
Yeah, that's a great question. The last head job that I had, there was a staff that was leaving and everybody in the building was leaving with them. This staff, there's one person leaving and there's a lot of people back. That's a huge advantage. There's a lot of generational intelligence in that building in terms of people knowing how we do things, knowing players. So it's not a total brand new makeover. So that's great for us as a staff to be able to identify what we need and have people that can tell the new bodies that are coming in, this is kind of the way we've done things. This is this about this young player. This is where he is in his development and those type of things. So it's a tremendous advantage. It's a tremendous advantage because I've been in those situations where you're having to explain to people, all right, this is where the president's office is. This is where the rec center is. This is where our players live in the dorm. You're not doing all that. You're able to pick up and go from where you're at. So you're already ahead in the race. So a lot of those things by hiring, late in January and this thing kind of happening late in the coaching cycle, it's really actually an advantage from the standpoint of at least you're not making a total wholesale change where you got a brand new crew coming in here. And when do we start? And spring practice and everything gets delayed and then stuff starts getting pushed back. So it's a tremendous advantage for our staff and for our players to continue on with what they're doing.
Anything else from members of our media?
Hi, Coach. Emily
Hello.
Cochran, Fox 10. A lot of the players have said that you're exactly who they wanted. You have their backing and their support. Kind of what does that mean to you?
It means that you've developed some trust, and it means you need to continue to deliver. I appreciate it, certainly. That's why I wanted to start this off because it doesn't. And I wanted to thank them, not from like running for student body president type standpoint, but I wanted to thank them for being men ahead of when they're supposed to be men. And they're 19 years old. They've got brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles pulling on them. What about this? What about that? Well, why don't you do this? This coach did this to you. No, I know what we got. I know what we got in a team. I know who I am. By betting on myself, I stay right here and continue to do what I'm already doing, which is turning this thing into a winner and going after championships. So that's what I really am more appreciative is that they found something in themselves rather than, holding up a sign for me. I really appreciate that they're finding things in themselves and learning that they can be strong grown men on their own.